welcome to the grill here at the Average Outdoor Channel. Today you guys are in for an absolute treat because I am making one of my favorite meals. This is Kabobs. Growing up, we lived next to a Middle Eastern family, and their dad, Gabby, he made the most amazing barbecue. He made kafta and kebabs, and I feel like he would do this every single weekend. And when I finally got old enough, I had to know how he was making these things. When he first told me the ingredient list on his kebabs and kafta, I was in disbelief because it was 2 ingredients. He did pork, salt, and allspice. I used to do it that way as well. It's really good, but I can't leave recipes alone. I'm always trying to improve them. So I also add some pepper. I got some garlic powder and onion powder. And this, with a little pork in the grill, absolutely makes some magic. The pork we're using today is called pork country style ribs. And it is a darker, fattier cut of the pig. You definitely want to have some fat for this recipe, because if you're using a really lean section like the loin or a lean section of the roast on the pork, it's going to dry out really fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our cut, and if you can find the boneless stuff, it just makes this a whole lot easier. And these are almost an inch tall, and so we're going to try and keep these just in inch cubes. You don't want to leave these too thick, because when you're grilling them, the outside of the kebab will be more than done, and the inside will still be raw. You definitely want to cook your pork all the way through. So we're just slicing this up, and I found the scissors, unless it's frozen, can be a whole lot quicker to get nice uniform cuts. Going for about that inch. We get all these cut up, and once that's happened, I get the seasonings on here. And now I gotta somehow turn the camera off without getting my nasty meat fingers all over them. So I've got clean hands. My pork is all cut up. It's about 2.5 pounds, in case I didn't say that prior. And now it is time to season it. This is going to be a little bit difficult for me because I don't use these. I just eyeball it. So I'll do my best in trying to figure out exactly what these ratios are. I'm just going to say salt to taste. And I'll tell you that dear old Gabby salted the heck out of them. He put on a lot more salt than what I like. And so we'll just see how much I like, and I'll try and measure it out as I go. But salt to taste. So here's a tablespoon, and what I usually do is spread out the meat so it's just one layer high, and then try and see like a nice even coat over the salt. And it's a lot of salt. So right now I'm at 1.5 tablespoons. I want a little more. Again, the difference between the original recipe that Gabby did and mine is that he would just eat it by itself with flatbread. And I like it that way a lot. My wife actually doesn't. She prefers it in more, I don't know if it's more traditional or not, but she kind of makes a wrap out of it. So I make some flatbread, and then we add in some lettuce, tomato, avocado, and hummus. And it's so good. I swear this is my soul food. So salt, I'm going to stop right there. That's about, just shy of 2 tablespoons of kosher. And then we're going to come in with allspice. Now, remember, the original recipe was just allspice and salt. So it is a healthy dosing of allspice. And because it's such a healthy dosing, I'm going to take this off. My nails out of there. And it's almost equal parts salt and allspice. Definitely just want to get a nice coating on all this. So there's 1 tablespoon, maybe a little bit more than, let's just say 2 tablespoons of allspice. It's a lot of allspice. It's a lot of allspice. The weird thing is, it doesn't taste like allspice. You'd think like, oh my gosh, like that's a potent flavor. It's kind of clovey and cinnamony, but it's magic. It doesn't have like an overwhelming allspice flavor. Hit it up next with some ground black pepper. I was gonna try and measure this out. But that's not going to happen because I can't grind this into a tablespoon. So let's shoot for teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of pepper. I think it's one of those things that I like a lot of black pepper, so I go heavy with the black pepper. Figure it out on your own. Try stuff which, see what you like. Experiment, that's what I did. Now we're coming in with garlic powder, and let's start off, we're not going to do a tablespoon of that. Let's start with a teaspoon of garlic. I think that'll get me to about what I want. That's probably a little heavy. I went about 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic. I don't want too much garlic in there. Coming in next with onion, teaspoon. I like teaspoon. Perfect. That is the seasonings. Now you gotta mix it. I'm gonna do this off camera so I don't have that same issue of trying to turn the camera off with my nasty meat fingers. And voila, just like that, we have all of our delicious kebabs coated in the right amount of seasoning. It's about 3 o'clock right now. I'm gonna put these on the barbie at around 5:30. Let them sit for at least an hour. It lets the salt do some work. Lets those flavors get infused into the meat a little bit more than just surface deep. Put them in the fridge. It's cold enough out here. It's like 35 right now. A little cold, but I'll still put them in the fridge. Cats don't mess with them out here. Another reason why this is one of my favorite foods is because of what magicness is happening right in here, and that is homemade flatbread. Now, I wish I would have filmed this making it, but it's super simple. It's just 3 cups flour, 1.25 cups water, packet of yeast, a little bit of dash of salt, some olive oil mixed together. It's just your basic dough recipe. This is proofing right now, and then I'm going to form this into little flatbread pita things. I cook them on the barbecue. It is absolute heaven. So you just saw me make and prepping the flatbread. The reason why I had to cook the flatbread, and I wasn't doing a full cook, is about 30 seconds, 35 seconds per side once you get it into your flatbread shape. You do that so when you put it on the grill, it's not just soft dough and it falls through the grates. So I'm about 4 out of 10 on the heat, so medium heat for about 35 seconds per side. And then once you cook the flatbread and get it out of the stove, it's going to be really hot, and it's going to give off moisture if you stack them up like pancakes. So put them on that drying rack, let them cool off completely. I'm about 35 minutes away from firing up the grill. And so that way, it just makes it really easy when it comes time to cooking them on the grill. You can cook them all the way in the pan, but you're going to miss out on a whole lot of good flavor if you do that. It's getting cold out here. Oh yeah. But I got the chuckle started, and now I'm going to assemble the Kabobs. Starting off with an onion. It's just a yellow onion. If you've got access to something sweeter, cooler, by all means, use it. Wow, I do not ever cut sitting down. It does not feel natural. So I'm going to get the skin off this onion. Taking it all off. This does taste better. You get these things called Walla Walla sweets, and I'm not sure if those are shipped out everywhere. Walla Walla, Washington. It's a pretty far drive from us, so maybe they do ship them out everywhere. I don't know, but darn good onions. This is not it, unfortunately. This is just your standard yellow onion. Anyways, we're going to cut these into little sections to assemble our Kabobs. That's it like that. Take your skewer, and you definitely do not want to squish the meat together because that's going to compress it, make it want to take longer to cook. So leave it kind of loose. You want as much surface area as you can get, and we're just going to alternate meat and onion all the way through. My charcoals are just about ready. I got my little modified propane grill here. It's now a nice cozy fire pit. Fire pit? I don't know. Fireplace? Not fireplace. Anyways, puts out fire. Nice. Let's get these charcoals going. Let's get those kebabs on. Some tongs. I don't know how long it's going to take. Probably, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes? Oh yeah. Beautiful. Some nice grill marks on there. These off to the side. These metal tongs are nice, but they're freaking long. A little hot. A little hot. So I've been on there for about 5 minutes each side, and I'm getting a good sear on them. One thing I don't want to do is overcook them too much. I tend to actually err on the side of overdone because it's pork. I don't want to get anyone sick. So some of these have got some great grill marks. Some of them have a little bit too much grill marks. But I'm going to put these off to the cold side and kind of just oven them up a little bit. Put this back on. Indirect heat. Open this up to full. Let it get up to 425 or so. Let that go for about 5 or 6 minutes. I'm going to go grab my thermometer and temp them. Thermometer's reading right at 145, 140, 150 and some. Perfect. So now it's time to cook the flatbread. And we just take dry bread and just pop them on. Usually they'll do about 2 at a time, the way they cook even. These cook pretty fast when the coals are this hot. This one's not quite over as much coals as I'd like it to be. Oh yeah. You can use a spatula on these because these coals are wicked hot, but if you try and use your tongs, you're just going to break the bread. Just try and grab from the non-hot side. It's hot though. It's hot. As you continue to flip them, one, you'll see them puff up. See how this one's starting to puff up? You know that one's dang near done. And also the consistency as you touch it. They won't be so gooey you'll feel like it's done. The hot side's in the middle, so give them a turn. Oh, it's hot. See the steam coming out of that? It's like pita bread, man. This stuff is so good. Keep turning them, you don't want to burn anything. This one's almost done. They go pretty quick. These probably take maybe 2 minutes for each little batch, and then you're done. Whoa, it's hot. My last pita / flatbread is done. Let's set it on here. And then what I do is I take my kebabs and I let them cool down on the flatbread, release their delicious juices, get them to soak it up into that bread. Oh yeah. The finished product, the accoutrement if you wish. However, you can eat it just as is, but it is family eating time. So thanks for watching. Take care.